So, guys, what's going on? So, here's something that I was reading about, and it's from the Department of Labor, and it's showing the male labor force participation rate. And this is from the 1950s, and it absolutely went down. And then you have the female labor participation rate from the 1950s, and it's going up. And that's a good thing. So, you have a good thing here that there's more female people getting involved in the labor force and working. But then you have the male labor force going absolutely straight down. And that's been going on since the 1950s up till today. So that's what these charts are. Now, I don't know the reason why this has been happening since the 1950s. It could be all sorts of different things. What I will tell you is things that I've experienced and I've done if you want to get a job or try to get a job. I would go to your local town hall or city hall and see what jobs are posted there, right? Whether it's a city job or a town job or a state job. They usually have some sort of civil service job, and it doesn't matter how old you are. Some jobs do have a age requirement, but there's a lot of jobs that do not. Now, some people, maybe they don't want to go to college, whether they can't afford it or whatever the deal is. They just don't want to go to college. So you might want to look into a trade school, and there's all sorts of different things with trade schools. You could get a CDL license. You could try to become a plumber. You can try to do carpentry. I mean, there's welding. There's all sorts of stuff. You would have to go to the trade school, see what kind of might interest you and maybe take a couple of courses. And usually a trade school might be a year or so, but once you go to a trade school, you can get a really good job. The other thing is medical billing. You might want to get into medical billing, and that's a lot where you can actually do a lot of that from your house. And there are classes in medical billing. To find things like this, I would just basically go to Google and wherever you live, right? If you live in Kansas, just type in, Kansas trade school, Kansas medical billing school, Kansas CDL license or driving school, something like that. There is a shortage of truck drivers. Getting a CDL license is not a bad thing. It's actually very good. The other thing you could do is you could take courses right from your house. So even if maybe you don't want to go to a physical school, for whatever reason, you just don't want to be in a room with people right now, there's lots of things you can do online. And you could do courses from your home and get like a certificate, and you could start, trying to do some work that way. Now, if you do decide to go to college, I think it's good. Pick something that you want to do. Pick a course you like. When I read all these articles, I always read about a lot of these college kids, and they're getting college degrees, which is great, but they're not degrees that kind of, I guess, make money or demand any sort of, they got a degree, but there's no job for it. So you probably want to look, and if you're going to go to college and get a degree, see what degrees are in demand. So if you do go to college for a 2-year or a 4-year, or even, like you get a master's or something like that, you want to make sure that when you come out of college that you can, hopefully get a job. And not only get a job, but, you may have some student debt. You have to really think about that. About if you do go to school, how you're going to pay for it. Maybe you have to take a loan. So you kind of want to get a job where you want to be earning some money. Nursing is a big thing. If you want to go in that direction, school teachers are always in demand. I mean, there's a lot of, if you go like top 10 college degrees, you'll get top 10 which are in demand, and you get top 10 which are not in demand. But again, that's up to you. Computers, very big. There's all sorts of different computer things, whether it's just IT or, some sort of software engineering, things like that. So that's the job route. And I think people get stuck in this, like I have to go to college or I can't get a job. There's lots of different ways to look. I always say the best thing to do is just try to go to your town hall at first. Your town hall, your city hall, see what's there, see what's available. There's always entry level jobs. Sometimes you have to take a test, but they're not that crazy. And if you are going for a civil service test or taking a civil service exam, there's usually courses that will help you that teach you and show you how to take that exam. So if you wanted to be a police officer, let's say, you could go to like the bookstore and get a book on, how to take the police officer's test. There's probably even like a course or something where you could participate, it's like a 1-day course that tells you how to take the exam. And that goes for anything. I don't care if it's police, fire department, sanitation. I mean, also the water department. There's all sorts of different utilities and things. Highway department's a big one. So you want to look into all of those things. And if you're afraid of taking the test, there's usually a class or a course that teaches you how to take the test. Sometimes some of those classes give you like the answers, like they give you the exact questions and the answers from the test. That's why when you go and take the test, you can, look how many people are becoming cops and firemen and sanitation. So if all these people can do it, you absolutely can do it. I guess you want to check the requirements. Some, depending on where you're going, some have different requirements with maybe medical or physical or things like that. So you want to look into all that, see what the requirements are. But there are lots of different jobs that you could go for. And then once you're working the job, you'll maybe have some sort of security. There's no reason, unless you really don't want to work. I don't know. But that's just my advice on if you are looking for a job. You can look at my other videos. I might do a video on just how to do a business or start a business. This video is just on how to do a job. Try to get a resume together and put your resume out there. I know there's Indeed, which is the big one. There's a couple of different job websites. Facebook is actually pretty good now. You can go on Facebook now and there's a job section and you can look through different jobs, type in some sort of job you might be interested in, like driver or whatever it is, and you'll see some listings and you can apply for them. And it doesn't hurt. You just apply for everything and you see what comes up. That's, basically what I would do. If you could you apply for it, you see what happens. Worst case scenario, nothing happens. Okay, you wasted a couple of minutes or whatever, some time, but best case scenario, you might land a job. And the other thing with college is if you do go to college, you definitely want to make an appointment with an academic advisor. And if you have something, let's say you want to be an accountant, you would go to the academic advisor and you would say, I'm looking to be an accountant or a CPA, something like that. And you want to make sure that the classes that you're taking pertain to that degree. You just don't want to say, I want to be an accountant, and then just start taking like basket weaving classes. You could take all sorts of classes that do not fit that degree, and you just be going to school and wasting your time. Because let's say you did want to be, like I said, an accountant, there's certain classes you have to take to satisfy, in order to get, that degree, take a test, all that type of stuff. So you want to talk to someone that could say, okay, you want to do this career, you want to be an accountant, these are the classes you have to take, these are the order you have to take the classes in, and within a 2-year time, you do this, you do that, and then you take your test, and now you're an accountant, which is a good career. People always need help with their taxes, things like that. So those are just suggestions. I find it alarming that the male participation rate is like straight down. That's not a good thing. You want, for the most part, to work. I don't know. And it's good that females are working. Girls are working. They're in the labor force. They're doing great. But you really want both people kind of working. You don't want just one. And I think getting a job now is very, it might be easier than it's ever been. But I think it's just, maybe it's more daunting. Maybe people are just more afraid. I don't know. But anyway, that's my suggestion. I hope that helps. You can leave a comment below if you know of any more tips or tricks, because I love to read them and maybe other people love to read them. If you have any questions, you can ask. And maybe I'll do a business video on, certain businesses maybe you can start. And that's it. All right, guys, I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's staying safe. Like, subscribe, and comment. Leave a comment below. Hit that like button. Guys, God bless you, and I will talk to you guys later.